Yeah.
But I still bring this into the class, and I have
Yeah.
all the things. But need to add more.
Screaming sugar.
Yeah. Yay. Hi. I'm like wanting to ask you questions right now, but I'm like, don't ask
You're like,
questions.
wait,
Just
hold it,
wait.
hold it.
Just hold
Hold
it.
it.
Hold it.
Hopefully, I don't say anything dumb.
I say dumb things all the time.
Okay, cool. That makes me feel better because
All the
I
time.
also say dumb things all the time.
So yeah, that way I can fall back and
That chair.
freak out like I did too when I sat down in my chair.
Oh yeah, you gotta like kick them down, get them sturdy.
Yeah, we just had a few weeks ago Christina
Oh, cool.
Bergling on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
She's awesome. She's gonna do like a book signing this summer for a new
Yeah.
book coming out here. So that should be fun. Yeah. I know you.
Yay, we're live.
Woohoo!
Very exciting. We got it working.
We did it.
You know what?
Rude. Y'all heard that.
They all heard.
Everybody heard it.
And they're like, "Wow, we thought she was so nice." I'm an actual. So, all right. So yeah, we're gonna.
You-
hope this goes well.
You can. Oh, never mind. You're good. I was just gonna say because it's covering your face, you could just turn it like sideways. Yes, like that. There you
Ah,
go. Oh yeah.
fancy,
Harder than the
fancy.
mic. He is. I wasn't. Like, what am I doing with this? All right. So let's get started. And I'm just gonna wing the intro.
Yeah, because I didn't realize.
Because we were live, and I was
Perfect.
gonna wing this. So
I'm ready.
me too. I'm excited. All right. What's up, goals, gals, and meta pals? Today is a very live stream special because we are streaming live. That felt redundant. From Horrid, Denver's Horror Shop. And with us is Emerald Bose, right?
Yes, absolutely. Hello.
Owner and founder of Horrid. So if you couldn't tell, this is a horror shop.
If you can tell by the 10-foot Jason.
Right? So welcome, Emerald. We're
Thank
so
you.
Excited to
Thanks
have
for
you on.
having me.
Yeah. How long has Horrid been a thing? I know it started as a magazine, right?
Yes. Yeah, so I actually started Horrid as you said the magazine in the first 2 years. So this was back in 2018 actually. The first 2 years I created like zines by hand, like hand stapling each one, like cutting out the pages until year 3 that I went and started getting it published professionally and it started looking like the full-sized magazine you see here. And that was in 2018 and then I opened up the first Horrid shop actually in 2021 2020 maybe late 2020 2021 whenever
During
COVID calmed down. Yeah.
right?
Right when it like started, going down a little bit. But that was open for about a year and then it was located inside a tattoo shop and then after that closed down I was doing just like online stuff, working on the magazine. I had started making candles at that point and selling some other products online, but I wasn't really planning on opening another shop as quickly. But I think it was like 2 months later, I like found this building when I was with a friend who was looking for real estate to open up a shop, and I was like, this just feels right. So then that was how I came to be here. So this location opened 2.5 years ago almost.
What so for the original concept of the magazine, was it all kind of horror macabre based or what was it?
Absolutely. So I am actually a photographer. That was like my career before I now own the shop. But I started in college doing like dark art photography is kind of what I call it. So like you said, everything horror, macabre, stuff like that. And I just realized that there wasn't really like a lot of like places for dark artists to share their work. I had been submitting to like a lot of galleries and publications, and I kept being either denied just because they're like, oh, this is like too dark for our viewers or whatever, or too bloody or whatever. And then or they'd be like, oh, we really like your work, but you can only show like 3 out of 4 in this series. And I'm like, you know what? No, that doesn't feel right. Like no one likes to have their art censored. And so I was like, that's kind of where I had the brainchild where I was like, you know what? I want to like create a space that like lets the bloody stuff be and lets the dark stuff be because it's not negative or bad or shouldn't be ignored, especially like it's art. It's like a positive thing, even if it's depicting something dark or negative. You know what I mean? So
So like one of my most favorite like photo shoots that I've done was a horror one, and I'm like, yes, just cover me in blood.
just all the fake blood. We literally have a mop bucket full of fake blood in the fridge right now. We keep that on deck.
You
Did you
never
make your own?
know.
We do.
Yes.
Yep. Chocolate syrup,
I was gonna say
cornstarch,
chocolate. Yep.
that blend. Yep.
That's
Corn
awesome.
syrup and food coloring.
You know, it's a really good blood mix that you can use in a pinch is also red velvet cake
Interesting. That makes sense.
mix. It's
Red velvet cake
chocolate.
mix. Yeah.
It's and what's fun
red.
is just
It's
depending-
probably 3 of the ingredients because it probably has corn syrup in it.
Yeah, it's just you,
That makes
you need
sense.
it in a pinch. Get the boxes, take them to set with you, and then mix them up.
Genius. It's literally 3 of the 4 ingredients. I just like kind of realized that it has red food coloring in it probably.
Uh-huh.
And it's chocolate and corn syrup.
Yep.
Amazing.
And you just mix it. to
I've
the
never thought about that.
consistency you need.
I love it. Definitely using that.
The first time I ever made it, I accidentally put eggs in it because I was just going off the box, forgetting I'm making blood, and I'm like, oh, we probably shouldn't put that on.
You're like, oh, whoops.
Oops, that was
Very
just
sticky.
tossed."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you said you were cutting them and making them yourself initially.
Yeah.
How in the world? Like, how did you disperse it or distribute it when you're making them?
I did it all self kind of published and promoted at first. Well, I guess always. I never like obviously went through any publishing companies or whatever, but I had started kind of the brand by, I had somewhat of a larger following on my photography page, and I was like, hey, like I know a lot of other dark photographers just from working with them, and so kind of promoting it that way, and I did a Patreon at first, so it was like a subscription base because I was doing a monthly. There's the little zines are there. Those are reprints, so they're like not the ones that I actually cut, but yeah, they look nicer now. But the first couple issues were definitely messy, but it just made it cooler. The imperfections is kind of what made it cool. It was homemade, handmade.
Is it indie board?
Yeah, exactly. It was cool.
Who doesn't love indie board?
A lot of
Yeah.
staple stabs though, because I didn't have like the right stapler that would reach, so I had to like open it and then pound it on top of a cardboard box.
Oh,
That's what I would do instead of just like buying a stapler for some reason.
paper cuts and staple stabs.
Yeah, lots of that.
So, what was the first thing that you ever sold in here, if you can remember? Or
Like-
maybe the most popular thing that you're
Yeah.
like, ooh,
I would say some of the most popular things I have in here are these like horror plush dolls.
yeah.
Cute and creepy is just such a good intersection. I sell a lot of candles. I make my own horror candles, spell candles, so those are kind of a real popular item. And then yeah, like stickers, pins, like fun like grab bag items because people like will literally get a whole pin collection. They're like, it's all my favorite horror people. I'm gonna get one of each.
Can I grab one of those?
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
show everybody.
plushie?
Yeah.
They're
think
made by a
people-
local artist. Her
So
name's Rebel
Freddie-
Skulls.
Freddie has actually made an appearance in quite a few of our episodes because I have
I
the
love
crochet
it.
Freddie and he sits behind me.
I love it.
These are
Yes.
so
Made by
cool.
Rebel Skulls. They're definitely like I can never keep them in stock because obviously they're handmade and as you can tell they take a while to make. So I'm always like, as soon as she finishes one order, I'm like, cool, start making some more for me. So I'll put her to work.
You need to get her to make some Lost Boys ones.
She does customs. She does a lot of customs.
Oh,
I've seen her do like Billie Eilish. I've seen her do like I don't have any now, but like the Edward Scissorhands is a newer one that's really cool.
Ooh.
She just did Crow one. Yeah, she makes tons of them.
I'm gonna get a Lost Boys.
I don't know what that was.
What does it say? Is it still streaming? Joy of technology.
New recording track created. The new recording track started due to your changes in your devices.
No, I'll take a peek. You guys keep talking.
Maybe check the levels. So yeah, How did you guys? So obviously the coffee shop, Scream and Sugar. How is that a connection between you guys? Obviously the horror connection, but how do you guys know each
Absolutely.
other?
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny story actually. So like I said, I had opened the shop November of 2024, and as I mentioned, I was a photographer, so my first kind of vision rendition of the space, I was doing the shop here, and then I wanted this to be like a photo studio that was like more dark gothic based. But it just wasn't really taking off the way I wanted to. It also doesn't have any natural light, which is a big like hindrance for a photo studio. And I was just getting a little bit busier with the horror side of things and not really wanting to keep up with that as much. So I had actually been following Horror Vibes Coffee, if you guys
Mm.
have heard of them. It is a really cool horror coffee shop in LA. And then I think they just opened up a new location, gosh, maybe in Vegas, I think. But I had been following them and I'm like, oh, I love coffee, obviously. And what's a better combo, than retail and coffee? And so I actually had posted on my story after I kind of had the idea. I was like, hey, I have this like other room. Like, is anyone interested in opening up a horror coffee shop in the back? And I actually had Nick, the owner of Scream and Sugar, message me and was like, this is so funny. Like, I literally was already going to reach out to you. I was just getting things done. I'm already in process of opening up my business, Scream and Sugar. And I was like, how perfect. So it was like the most kismet, like fate thing ever. She was like already, had all the branding, was starting to kind of open, and she was thinking maybe, oh, maybe Emerald will let me like pop up every now and then or something, because she started as like a little cart. And then obviously after we kind of tested the concept, I was just like, you want to just like not move your cart around and just like stay in here? And so she was actually in that back room for, I think, just under a year. Because she opened in August, and then I'm pretty sure like just a year later she was moved into there and licensed in there. So now she's obviously a full built out cafe, but yeah, just started all on a little cart back there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the perfect pairing, you know. I love it. Like, I mean, the first time I ever went in, it was there first, and then I was like, "What is this?"
You're like, hold on.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it's so cool. Just so many things and the themes. I love the bathroom. You know,
Yes.
if those of you who don't know, the bathroom is all like wallpapered with horror movie scenes from the bathrooms of those movies, which is awesome. It's like
And
my
it's
favorite thing.
it's so fun too, because we had such a fun time like being like, oh my God, there's this scene from the movie. And we'd watch a movie and then text Nick and be like, you got to print out this picture, like send screenshots. And it was so fun. And then every time that, and I'm sure this is still happening, every time that someone comes in, they're like, do you have this movie up there yet? And it's just this fun, like little interactive thing that people get to like be like, okay, now print this one. And then we'll print it and add it. And then next time they're like, oh, cool. Or it's like a find Where's Waldo thing.
Yeah. Oh
We're like, we
yeah.
do have that movie. Go find it.
When did you decide to expand into like the creepatorium and the tattoo shop?
Yeah, so the expansion all kind of happened in stages, but at the same time. So basically, after we had, long story short, basically it was a dance studio next door, and we had plans. We wanted to kind of expand because we had quickly outgrown kind of this area, with that being the coffee shop and trying to have like furniture in there, not tons of seating. So we'd quickly outgrown this area, and we're like, okay, we really do want more space. I had already been doing like, as part of the growth of Horrid, I was doing markets and pop-ups, and so that got me into kind of hosting events. So I'd already been hosting events with my business partner at Creepatorium, and we're hosting them elsewhere. And I'm like, well, we could just do all of it in one space. That's way more convenient. And so we were like, okay, like, maybe we'll see if the dance studio ever like leaves, we can like expand or whatever, or had considered looking at other buildings. And then it was like almost like we manifested it. And it was like October of 23, October of 23, right? Yeah. Yeah. October of 23. And she was like, hey, my lease is up in like a year. Do you want to take it over? Like, I can link you with the landlord, and it can be a win-win situation for everyone. And we were like, yeah, like definitely we'll have like a year to prepare and like start talking to the city, and we have all these plans, like blah, blah, blah. And then like 3 weeks later, she's like, yeah, so I'm going to move out in a week. Do you still want it?
Oh my gosh.
Literally. So we had zero time to plan or prepare or do anything.
Jeez.
But I was like, okay, either we like say yes and make it work, or we possibly lose the opportunity and someone else moves in and gets a long lease, or like, God forbid, someone not cool moves in next door and I have to deal with
Right.
not cool neighbors. And so we were just like, talk to Nick, talk to my now business partner. And we were just like, crunch the numbers and we're like, we might as well try. So a little bit of delusion there, just like, let's do it. But hey, it's worked out so far.
Made it happen.
Yes.
So wasn't quite delusion.
Yeah, true. But hey, we're still in the process. Like we're working to get our liquor license in the venue space. So we're still kind of working with the city on that, finishing up the last kind of little bits that they wanted for like fire safety and stuff. And then they'll allow us to get that. And that's the last piece of the puzzle. Like surprisingly, the tattoo shop was like the easiest to license, which you wouldn't think that.
No.
But even like the cafe, which I know deals with, public safety as well, that was even a little bit more complicated than people stabbing needles into people.
Injecting things into skin.
Yeah. Very interesting. But yeah.
But it's cool because I think when I first stumbled across your shop, there was, I believe, just one tattoo artist. And now you've got multiple. You've got what, 4 or 5?
Yes. Yep. We have 5 now. We used to do like pop-ups with them. So we would have like 1 or 2 in here when that was still like the coffee shop, even like before, after that. And then that was kind of what led me to be like, okay, once we expand, we know the coffee shop's moving out of there. Like, now what do I do with this space? And I was like, you know what? I got a lot of tattoo friends. And it was so funny too, because people had already been coming in before it was tattoo shop, before there was a sign that says tattoo, anything like that. People would walk in and be like, is that a tattoo shop? And I'm like, what? So random. So then it kind of obviously planted the seed. And I'm like, horror people, coffee lovers, it's like, it all makes sense.
Any person that I tell about your shop, because I talk about it all the time.
Thank you.
Any person I tell about it, I'm like, tattoo shop, coffee shop. We have the retail section with all the horror items you could dream of, and event space. And people are like, that just makes sense.
Yeah, and
I'm
it's
like,
it's
it does.
so funny to explain it to people, especially people with the city, because they're like, what are you talking about? Like, what kind of building is this? They can't picture it. And I'm like, just trust. It makes sense when you go in. Like, it flows. It has that synergy. Like, it makes sense. It's just confusing on paper.
Yeah.
Like,
This isn't for you to understand. Just
Yeah.
give it to it.
just give me my licensing,
Put
okay?
the stamp on it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So did you grow up on horror?
I did. Yes. The first memory I have of horror is watching The Shining, like way too young. My dad was a huge is a huge Stephen King fan, and um always was like the fun dad trying to piss off my mom a little bit. So, so he would show me the horror movies that my mom wouldn't let me watch. And I remember, obviously being freaked out as a kid and scared, but like I had 2 older siblings that I wanted to like be cool and hang out with. So I'm like, I can do this, I can hang. And it obviously influenced like a lot of my personality today and my passion. So it just kind of grew from there. And yeah.
I see a lot of Shining kind of throughout the
Yep.
shop
I
usually,
just
so
got that
makes
rug.
sense. It makes sense. That was your introduction. And
Yes.
you have a favorite?
Ugh, of course, that's such a hard question, but I
course.
have like, I cannot say like a 1, but I have like a top 3 or 5.
Let's go for
Okay.
it.
My favorite like franchise slasher villain bad guy is Freddy. I love Freddy. I like got into dark art as a photographer because I was having really bad chronic nightmares. And so I love like the concept of being like haunted in your sleep, because I could relate to that, I felt like my brain was haunting me. And so I really like could understand that nightmare. And I would say other favorites would probably be Donnie Darko.
Ooh.
Love that movie. Cabin in the Woods is always one of my favorites. Obviously it's such a good movie for horror nerds, just picking out like all the references, and its horror comedies are just like the perfect combination. So that would be maybe my like top 3. And then if I were to expand into 5, it would be Evil Dead Rise is my like newest favorite. Love that movie. Gosh, what would I say my 5th one is? American Mary.
Ooh.
Have you guys ever seen that movie?
I have not.
It
I
is
need
so
to.
underrated. It is so good. It's like a really awesome, like good for her film.
Oh, okay.
Like revenge, like gore, torture, just awesome. So good. Definitely watch it. Highly recommend.
Have like a really good range in your
Yes.
tops.
I like a lot of horror, like you know what I mean? So it's hard to pick one because I'm like, well, this is my favorite horror comedy and this is my favorite like series and you know, but yeah, it's funny chatting with people about horror favorites because you know, like I do have like such a wide variety of horror genres that I love and types of horror. And so people are always like, "Oh, well, you're definitely like a slasher gore person," but then I love psychological movies, you know, like psychological horror is so good. I love social horror. Like it's definitely a range. It's hard to pick one.
Feel
My
like
go-to is vampires.
Eh,
That's always going to be my
Like
go-to.
gothic,
vampires.
yeah.
However,
Did you like
my-
Nosferatu?
I haven't watched it.
Oh,
I know.
it's so good. And I actually am not super into like the monsters as much. I feel like I'm not huge on like zombie movies or vampires or any of that per se, but Nosferatu is a perfect movie. It is a perfect movie.
We've been on a quest to finish Penny Dreadful, the TV series, for some episodes we've got coming up. So everything else is taken.
Yeah.
Like
You're
a
like, it's
back-
all Penny Dreadful right
Mhm.
now.
It's 3 seasons of hour-long episodes, so I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this is all I do in the little free time I
Yeah.
have.
Well, after Penny Dreadful, definitely watch
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu and report back what you
will.
think.
I'll be like, look, this is what I thought. It was awful. No, I'm just kidding.
Hated it. No, I think you'll love it.
some people did not like it though. I
Really?
think. Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't want to get into specifics necessarily, but there's some downer moments.
Yeah. No,
You
for
know?
sure. It's not the easiest to watch
Right.
for
That's
sure.
what I'll say. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I've heard that it's a slow burn, and a lot of people have issues because a lot of horror films now are so like high adrenaline,
Yeah.
and just action and like horror right from the beginning. And so I think that's where a lot of people, at least from the reviews I've read, they feel disjointed with it is because it's a slow burn. But I love a slow
Yeah.
burn.
Those
See,
are the
and I
best.
can go either way with slow burns. Like I love The Witch. I think that's a real slow burn, but I
Yeah.
think it's beautiful. Actually, also Robert Eggers, so makes sense. But what I think why I probably like his slow burns so much is because, and also super important to watch it in a movie theater setting because it's so beautiful. The soundscapes, the visuals, like it can be slow, but I'm literally like the whole time. So I'm interested because yeah, I'm super ADHD. Like I have a super short attention span. Usually if a movie doesn't catch me with the like action in the first like 5 to 10 minutes, I like whoop, just like find myself zoned out. So for slow burn to catch my attention, it has to be like significant in many ways.
It just has to captivate you.
I hear the new Sinners, that movie is like that. I hear it's so good. Again,
I watched it in IMAX, like the real IMAX experience. I was like,
You were like, yeah, I like
I
have to go
walked
see
out
this
just,
movie.
I love this.
Mhm.
I love it so much.
Everyone's saying it's like the movie of the year, so I'm gonna definitely have to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
Remember, vampire genre is like the
Oh, yeah,
one
that's
that I
right.
gravitate
Vampires
to,
too.
and so for me, I can go either way. It like I'm not, wouldn't say I'm picky about it, but because I will watch campy, I will watch
Yeah.
it all, but it has to make sense.
Yeah.
And this one I would put as like a top. vampire.
Oh.
Doesn't beat the Lost Boys, but
That one's a classic.
So what is your favorite thing in your shop? Do you have a favorite like item?
Can I go get it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get it.
So this is probably as I should recall. That would be hilarious.
It was. No, I'm just kidding. It was.
This is probably one of my top selling items. I can like not really always keep them in stock. And should I like go closer to the camera to show it, or just show it from there?
Oh,
But it is a
configuration.
Lament configuration puzzle box that actually opens and configures into different things, and it's like a little stash box. Not that you can really like fit anything in there. That looks great on you, by the way.
Oh my gosh, these hats never look good on me, so
They look adorable.
thank you.
But yeah, I love this. It always is like a good conversation. People come in and they're like, "Does it open?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I'll let them figure it out. I'll give them like hints sometimes. And it's hilarious to watch that happen as well. But I love this thing.
I was at a horror convention many moons ago, and there was a configuration, and it turns out it's like an etched metal configuration with like a music box. It's a music box. So
Whoa.
you spin the circle at the top, and it plays spooky music.
That's like even cooler than this.
But you open it in reverse, and like you unscrew the circle, and there's like a little picture of maggots inside.
Stop.
It's fun.
I want one.
I love that this because it's beautiful. You can't really manipulate it other than the circle.
The
which
circle?
That's still nice.
No, that's so
It's
cool.
a satisfying feeling, but that is really neat that you can
Yeah.
open, twist, and do, open hell.
Open the portal to hell. All of pain and all of pleasure.
Did we break something, DJ?
It was just somebody was saying that it was cutting in and out with yours a little bit.
Maybe because I have it sideways weird.
It may have been the
Do I have
Yeah.
to eat my mic?
No. I just
Well-
learned that there's a whole mic etiquette.
Yeah, go ahead. No, it's not that. Go ahead.
Testing 1, 2, 3. A, B, C. No, you can't hear me?
No, I can hear you. It was just kind of fading. I don't know if it needs to be plugged in and unplugged in and plugged in again.
I wonder if it's because I was like sideways.
That could be part of it, but it's also could be the. Okay,
The connection.
Technology really doesn't like me today.
It just is really testing you.
Because I know I also keep turning sideways to talk to her, so maybe that's messing it up. BBC.
yeah. I don't know if we can switch yours and John's. Just
The cord?
yeah, just the cord. Yeah, just sorry guys. 1 second.
See, DJ Black.
Hey, at least someone texted you to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just was like, well.
May have to
Always
record
make
again.
sure.
No worries.
We're just gonna get you on the virtual one and it'll be like, okay, look, since we lost some of that, we'll just make up new questions.
Yeah.
So if you open the portal to hell,
Oh,
what do you think your Cenobite would look like?
I love that question.
And I love Hellraiser.
Me too.
Is it still being funky?
I think we're okay. Yeah. go
Well,
ahead.
they're style icons, so like
Yep.
I'm cool with any of their outfits. Like
Okay.
amazing. The chains, the like, black, obviously. Like I wear lots of chains. I thought I had a chain on. I don't actually, but got chains on. I feel like my Cenobite would be now I feel like I really have to think about this answer.
So I'm gonna throw another thing at you. to
Yeah.
help with the layers.
Cool.
So Cenobites, their grotesque, macabre kind of representation is an external representation of their sins as a human.
Okay.
So, like you have Pinhead, where he feels like he's split in two, and so he's got the pins in his head, right? That's the migraines, the constant headache of being torn. inside.
Okay. Amazing.
So, and then you've got other people that, like the person who's smoking, their throats ripped out.
Yep.
Interpretation of
Butterball.
if you had someone saying, "This is you, sinner."
I feel like it would be like I would just have like a glass of red wine. Like I just enjoy wine a lot. I don't know if that's necessarily a sin to enjoy wine per se, but that's like I'm thinking more of like my vice, right? Yeah, so maybe like I don't know
Or it could be
why
the things that like tortured you.
tortured me.
I don't know. I always love like for people who love and get Hellraiser. I'm just like,
Yeah.
what's your Cenobite?
I would say maybe like as a business person, like being a workaholic, overworking could be kind of like the torture, the test it. Do you need to test it?
What did you say?
It's your mic's just it's fading in and out. It's just that mic.
Weird.
I don't know if it's the mic, if it's just.
Is it maybe because it's angled at my mouth? Does it need to be straight up and down? Is that what this is? Because I feel like
No, you were perfectly on it. I think it was just like when you start talking, it just kind of it goes in and out. Like
I don't know what to do.
Weird.
The only thing.
I I can just switch with John. He's like rude.
Just
We
like
could share
the
if
microphone.
we pull it out.
Yeah, or you could just put the mic between. Yeah, absolutely.
Because then here,
So try
Teamwork.
do this, and actually just pull it out because
Enjoy the show,
it
folks.
back and forth versus lightning it.
Oh, signing
So
is
this-
Okay. What about that? Does that work? Is that better? Can you hear me better?
So go ahead.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me better? It's like a Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Can
Good.
I have to eat the mic, don't I?
No, yeah, or kind of. I mean, you're okay. I think
Okay.
we're okay.
Are you sure?
I think so.
This is just
the fun of being live, folks.
Yes.
this
Fun
is why I like the
technology.
virtual, but this is such a great setting. Like the camera disconnected, everything went wonky.
And it says it's connected, but obviously it's probably not.
It looks like the FaceTime camera now, but it's been that way for a while.
Mm.
Yep. Oh well.
Womp womp. Thanks, technology. Maybe it's because it's haunted in here.
Is it?
Might
Okay,
be
but
haunted.
we're gonna get to that.
Also,
was
I
gonna
blame the
ask
brick
that.
walls because of the Wi-Fi's terrible in here. Like technology just does not work well.
That
in here.
mic shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, that's weird. You're gonna like listen back and you're gonna hear like "help me," like ghosts in it.
And I'd be like, you didn't help me. I'm not helping
I'm not
you.
helping you.
Could have made my mic work. That would have been great. No.
So, anyways, back to my Cinnabite. I think
Cinnabite.
yeah, like it would be overwork, like overworking, because I'm definitely a little bit of a workaholic. Struggle to find that work-life balance. So I'm like trying to feel out how that would visually look. Like maybe I'd have like a sick Cenobite briefcase that had a bunch of terrible stuff in it, or like
Well, because like it's usually pretty like viscerally like
Yeah.
it just I'm trying to think. There is like a visceral aspect to it that tears them apart. So I wonder if it's like a phone embedded, like halfway into your head, or
Ooh.
I'm trying to think. It's just like, well, that would be all of us.
I'll have
just like
to
phones for hands.
Yeah.
And like
I'll have to
antennas
think.
sticking
I'll have
up.
to think and really scheme how I would want my
You could do a
Cenobite to
whole
look.
photo shoot.
That would be really cool. About like a
Interesting.
series.
Yeah.
Stop. I need to come out of retirement from photography just for that.
I mean, I've seen the pictures you've done. You absolutely should come out of retirement. Your art should not go.
Thank you.
Wait, there was a word in there. Your art should not go unseen. There we
Thank you.
go.
I
Word.
appreciate the compliment.
So you said it's haunted.
You're like, anyway, so ghosts.
The ghost.
So there's been some instances. So I think the first instance was pretty soon after I opened because there was nothing in it was still a photo studio back there. So the coffee shop wasn't there yet. So it was pretty early on here. And I had accepted a gift from another haunted location. So it is a vintage 1970s Ouija board that is from Grant Humphrey's mansion. Because I have a friend that works there and was getting rid of stuff. And he's like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, of course."
Bring on the ghost.
So it still is here. It lives in the basement currently because most of the people here don't even like. Yeah, there's a creepy basement. It's not really. I say creepy basement. It's like fully finished. So it's like people are always like, "Oh, I expected like a creepy dungeon basement," but it just looks like this, but basement form.
I love
There's no bricks.
basements.
But you're like, I can definitely give you a tour of the creepy but not creepy basement.
Even if
But-
it's finished, there's something exciting about.
It's definitely spooky. It's definitely still spooky. There's like a crawl space that's weird.
I'll go in there.
Yeah. But anyway, so I just have to put the Ouija board away because people rightfully so get very sketched out by it, especially after hearing the story. So I brought it in and I immediately was like, I'm going to cleanse this board. I lit some incense. You know, I was like, if there's anything attached to this board, like as long as you're not mean, you're welcome here. But I don't invite any like negative spirits in here. And like, really tried to like set the intention. And literally while the incense was still burning, I'm like sitting on my computer and I had like a computer set up right on the other side of this wall in that second room. And I just hear, and the door to the basement is, and the board was up here. but the door to the basement has like what are those handles called? Like
I
a
don't even know.
lever, whatever.
Sure.
It has the handle that you pull down like that.
Mhm.
And I swear to God, it was like a of that. Like someone was like,
Ooh.
yeah. So much so that this is really stupid of me. I said hello and opened the basement.
Hello.
Like it was very clear what it was. So I was like, is someone down there? Like legit. I don't know why the first reaction was not to like scream and run away. It was literally like, hello, is anyone down there? Nothing, no one. But it was such a clear noise. And I was like, interesting. So I kept cleansing the board. And the other thing, oh, actually, no, there's two more things. Recently, so I'm sure there's some other stuff. We've done some seances in the basement and back here, and we've had some, people come, but that's a whole nother story. But we had some other experiences. The coffee shop owner heard this crazy noise, and she actually caught it on camera, not like anything physical, but the noise. It's so loud. It's like she's talking to someone over here, and it's so loud that you see her jump and go like this, and you can hear like that kind of like cuts out, like peaks the camera. You know what I mean? And you hear it, and it's like this metal like scraping noise. And she said, and they were able to find out what the heck it was by duplicating it. It was the tattoo in the table room literally being dragged. It's like a metal and glass table on like epoxy flooring.
What?
And they said that it sounded like someone like if you were to walk by and like kick it with your shin on accident, like it was like like
Yeah.
that. And they're like, that like has to be it. And she's a skeptic. Like she's like, I don't believe in ghosts.
Not
but
anymore.
she was scared shitless after that. She was like, can I cuss? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That was like so real and scary for her. And she's like, I caught it on camera. Like I can't explain that away. And yeah, it was crazy. And then that was maybe 6 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. And then the last thing real quick was she was then down in the basement because we have like backstock down there. A couple weeks after that, and she has really long hair, and she is like grabbing stuff backstock, and she said that her hair was pulled
Oh.
so hard that her neck like tweaked. Like she was like, I just got the chills just saying it, because it's like, she's like, it wasn't like, she was like, nothing was around me. It didn't get
Right.
caught on anything. She was like, maybe like, we're trying to explain it, like maybe like it got caught in your armpit. And she's like, but no matter how I do it, it wouldn't be pulled so hard that she literally was like, ow,
Hurts. Yeah.
like hurt her
Whiplash.
neck.
Yeah. Okay, so you have
Crazy,
no
huh?
permission to pull my hair.
Right?
Yeah.
We all say though, like, although it's creepy and all that, we all say like it doesn't feel maniacal. What's the word I'm looking for? Not maniacal. Menacing.
Yeah.
There's
Malevolent.
a malevolent. It feels almost like pranky, like a kid.
Right.
I've always said that it's like, I think it's like a little girl that's like
Okay.
pranking.
Well, how old is this building? Do you know?
So I don't know. I've looked into it. I know that I'm assuming it was originally a house, and that's like the brick walls, and just to this room is the original structure. Once you go back to the other room, to the event space, that's a whole build on, and that was built on by a mechanic shop. So that used to be a mechanic shop back there. I don't know if they lived
Mm.
here and also kind of rented these or whatever, but I found really old pictures, I think from the 70s. I think that it was the shop back then. So that's why it's kind of like a garage and has like the big garage door back there. And then I also am curious. I like don't know how factual this is, but I'm like, I wonder if there was ever like a fire here,
Mm.
because I think the worst of it is behind that, but it could just be a weathering, aging, but there's some darkness around the top. So and obviously this was a fireplace, so you can kind of see some of that. I wonder if like that was too. But yeah, that's all I've kind of learned and gathered. I don't know what it was before the shop, but I think that it was a home.
You never know. Because I know there is a crystal shop way further up on Broadway that used to be a funeral home, and it's now a crystal shop. And it's interesting because you walk in and it really does feel serene.
You're like, oh my
Like, there's
gosh, am I
something
here for
very
a funeral?
serene and calming here.
Interesting.
What is this? And when I first went, I'm like, there's something familiar about the layout.
Yeah,
of
you're like,
this. I don't know why. And then someone else explained to me, that used to be a funeral home, right? And I was like, that explains the driveway.
that makes sense why it's like that.
Now I get what was familiar, but what?
Crazy. What a different business from funerals to crystals.
No, it's a crystal shop.
Hey,
Is it breaking
works.
again?
No, I was just trying to get the video back up to here, but I don't know how to do that because
I think we'd have to leave it and come back in. but-
because it doesn't give me like a drop down, right? Like when you click on it.
When it disconnected, it said that it was already in use by BJ's whatever. So I don't know why.
Okay,
It's a ghost.
it is a ghost.
The little girl's pranking us, but
Yeah.
I'll roll with it. I'll rock with it.
She's
We'll call her
chill.
Susie. Like, look, Susie.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. You're playing with my mic. You're playing with the technology, but we're still here. We're still having fun. I'm gonna come see you in the basement later.
Yeah.
Don't pull my hair.
No hair pulling allowed, Susie.
Nope,
She's
not-
forever. She's forever Susie now.
Yeah, Susie.
I don't know why I've never like thought of her name.
She's Susie.
But
It
Susie.
just sounds like a cute, innocent prankster kind of little girl name.
Yeah.
I mean, the only people allowed to pull my hair are the ones who bought me dinner.
Yeah, I gotta buy your dinner first.
So just
Wine and
kidding.
dine.
Wine and dine me before you yank my hair. Although I don't want whiplash.
No, like it was like that hard where she was like, I can't explain that away. It wasn't just like a oh, okay, maybe it was like, caught in my zipper or whatever. Like it was like aggressive. I was like, I'm glad that I would probably scream and cry and run away. She was very, very brave dealing with that.
So I had a question about the seances. How did
Yeah.
those go? I know John, he was actually telling me that he went to one of them when it first.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was around. I need the mic.
You could do that
yeah,
one.
you do need the mic. Here.
It was around December when you
I wonder if that was like because we
did it. Definitely.
yes.
It was in that.
Was it
where the
okay, I think that
tattoo-
was the first one we ever did.
Yeah, I think so.
That was I don't think it was the same one where you'll probably remember if it was the same one where that guy's dad came through.
Yes,
It was
That was the exact same.
that
one.
was crazy,
That
wasn't
was
it?
nuts, yeah.
So basically, that was like the best one. Like the first one was like like not to say they weren't all exciting. They had different things. But that was crazy. So what I'm referencing is my friends that throw the seances. They are obviously like big in the paranormal scene and hosting all that. They one of them brought their partner, and he was also a skeptic, like super cynical, but he was being supportive, and he was like, I'll just hang out, wasn't expecting to be like involved. Long story short, basically they did this technique, and I can't really remember the names. I don't know if you remember, but it's like when she like went under, and it's basically my friend put headphones on and like covered her eyes so she couldn't see or hear, and then listened to like this
Oh, the Estes method.
Estes method. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm
spirit
not good with
box and
term.
everything else.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what
And
it
then
was.
just kind of said what she heard, right? So she couldn't hear us, she couldn't see us, couldn't hear what questions we're asking her, but then would respond, right? And you're supposed to when you do that, just you are basically listening to like, this is very simplified, basically listen to like white noise, and then you're supposed to just say whatever you hear out of that white noise, like what like things will come through, if you will. And I mean, it was just nutty. It was like they said his name. They made a joke that he was like, that's exactly his sense of humor. They told him before they introduced who they were like, man, lay down. And they were like, which one? And then, they answered that it was like supposed to be him. And then, so he like got comfortable, laid down, and he's like kind of like laughing it off. And then, yeah, it was his dad, and that had passed away. And it even talked about how he died. He mentioned like, ouch, being on the side of the road, like, ouch, it hurts. And he literally had a heart attack on the side of the road. And then like, I'm getting the chills just thinking about, there was so much stuff. Like there was so much stuff. And then the last piece that really stuck by me was they mentioned a red engraved, was it a lighter or flashlight? It was a flashlight. And that was the only thing he had that was like passed down from his dad. Like it was his
Oh.
dad's that had it engraved for him or something like that. And so like there was just so many specific references to where we were all just like, what?
It was crazy too because he and I were the only two guys that. were there.
Yes, yes,
The
yes,
rest was
yes.
All women. So yeah.
Which one? Yeah,
I think it was
which
him.
man?
Yeah, it was him. So it was just crazy.
Oh, and he was just, of course, like I said, a skeptic. So it's like he didn't, want to kind of get into it and believe it at first. And then he was very quickly like, oh no, this is real. Like this is legit. Um,
So you obviously believe. Do you believe in all of that, all the paranormal?
I do. I just feel like the common phrase that energy can't, be created or destroyed. I just feel like it's just so simple to think that like this is it. Like this is all that is the meaning of everything. Is this like little fickle life thing that we have, right? And then like we die and then are eaten by worms and then nothing happens. Like that to me just sounds so silly for a world that's like so complicated. And so I just feel like there has to be something, whether it's reincarnation or it's, an afterlife or ghosts or spirits or whatever. I just feel like there has to be something. Um, and I've also like, I've had my own experiences, not exactly like in person ghost things, but when I was 18, I had a best friend of mine pass away. And like a week after she died, I had a dream, um, and it was the craziest, most like vivid. I still remember. Literally, I can picture it right now. This is 10 years ago, 13 years ago, even more than that. Um, but long story short, like she appeared in my dream and basically just like locked eyes with me and like said like, "I'm okay, like everything's good." And then I like woke up and I was like, it felt like her. I felt like I could like smell her. Like it was just so real that I was like, there's no way that that can't be something. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
believe.
and I'm sure you felt super like emotional from it,
Yeah.
right? You just, yeah, that's crazy.
Like it felt so much like she was trying to communicate with me. Like it did not feel like something my brain created, to help me grieve or whatever. Like it just felt way too real to like explain away simply.
Yeah.
So
You
I
mentioned
believe.
you make the candles and you do you also make the bath salts?
I do, yes.
So when did you get into that aspect of I call it metaphysical,
Yeah.
but other people call it healing arts, like
Yeah. Yeah. Witchy magic.
witchy magic. I didn't want to assume a
Yeah.
title.
Yeah. No, I definitely am a witch. I don't practice as much anymore, just honestly busy. But I really got into witchcraft and I kind of call it like modern witchcraft because I'm not necessarily Wiccan or like come from like a pagan background per se. But just really this idea of like being intentional about things and being, you know, how do I explain it? Like just putting out what you want to attract and manifesting and all that is kind of what I focus on. So I do primarily candle magic, hence why I make candles. So I kind of got all into that more. I started making the candles in 2020. I'd been practicing for a while as like a witch. I can't remember exactly when I kind of started my practice, but I do remember that it was like I really truly embraced it after reading this book called Witches, Sluts, and Feminists. It is such a good book. I literally recommend it to everyone. And I lost my copy because I lent it to someone. I was like, you have to read this. And then you know how that goes. You never see it
Never get it
again.
back.
But totally fine. I'm glad that it has a good home. But it is just such a wonderful feminist book about the persecution of witches, and that really basically, long centuries long stories short, it is like the explanation that witches are just like empowered women that were persecuted for, you know, being intentional and practicing love and magic and really just taking charge of their own life and like literally doing things like enjoying sex. Like, how dare they? Like, it's insane. Like, the history that she discusses about the persecution of witches. And it's just such a wonderful like reclaiming of that word. And like beforehand, because there's connotations, right? Like the normal world is like, you're a witch, like, oh, you're gonna like hex me, you're gonna like curse me. And it has all these negative connotations, but she just like really took it and made it such a beautiful term that after that I was like, yeah, I'm a witch. Like, hell yeah, that's badass. Like, these empowered women. So it's a really great book. I definitely recommend it to everyone.
I mean, if enjoying sex makes you a witch, May we all be witches.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why
It just
why were they persecuted? I don't. Crazy, crazy.
it does tend to be women that were independent
Mhm.
and took charge of their own lives
Yeah.
were accused. So
Yeah. And we're alternative, just wanting to live like a different life that had a little different meaning than just wake up, cook, clean for your man, have his babies, and then die. Like, the women that were like, actually, maybe I don't want to do that with my life. Maybe there's more meaning to my life. Burn. How dare you?
It's so sad too. We talked about Penny Dreadful earlier, and
Mhm.
coming up or in the second season, they do cover some witches, and it's a very sad story in there. But it's
Yeah.
also like I gotta figure out who that actress is, because she plays a witch in what is that, the Agatha All Along? I think
Mhm.
it's, yeah, which is also, I think, pretty good too.
I'm terrible at this game, like the naming actors. I'm
Oh yeah.
so bad at that. So I will not be helpful at all. I'll be like, yeah, that one girl. I'll like picture their face, but I'm like, I'm so bad with actor or director names.
me too, which is what you need when you play the horror Trivial Pursuit. I brought my daughter. We tried to play it, and I don't remember the racist name of the guy. This nice guy. He's just like that game will humble you. Like,
You know
it is-
nothing.
He's like you feel you're amazing at it, and then you play that game, and you're like, and he wasn't wrong.
He
And
was not wrong.
one of the questions was about a director's name, and I don't remember what the name was. It was David something, David Foster, David, I don't know. But that became the thing. So anytime a new thing came up, like name the director of this, name the writer of that, we're like, it's David,
David, of
Forster,
course.
whatever. Yeah, that's him, right? And it's just like, yay, we get a little pie piece because we're right, and we're not right, but
He's just, you could give yourself a little pie piece anyways.
we just made fun. It was like, it's David, it's David.
David. Sounds right.
I
Sounds right.
actually bought that game because of this shop because
Yeah. So it
'cause
didn't
I-
humble you, no
no,
things.
no, it still humbled me. Like it made me mad at myself because
Yeah.
I love 28 Days Later,
Mhm.
right? And Danny Boyle, I didn't know. I was like, I'm like, I watch this movie like not all the time, but like,
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite movies. Like, how do I not know the
I'm like,
director?
I should know this.
Like, oh, it's right.
Now I'm like, I've definitely looked at it
It's
a
a
little
bad,
bit,
right?
but now
I'm
I gotta
sorry.
sit down and
Like everybody that's watching, I apologize. See though, like I know, shame me right now. Like I
You
get it.
especially, you are shamed. Were you thinking of Catherine Hahn?
No,
No, not
the
one.
the older lady that's,
Joan Clayton.
I think so.
The lady that was in that 70s show.
No,
Then I don't know.
it was the one who does the tarot.
No.
Her mentor, the cut wife.
Yeah,
Damn, I thought I was right. See, humble now.
it's okay.
I need to go
David.
test my
David, yeah,
knowledge.
David.
It's David, yeah.
Female version of David, Davida.
Davida.
Patty Lupone.
Patty Lupone. Okay, I will remember that. Maybe
Lupone.
Lupone.
I need to I'll know the
She has a good face.
Oh yeah. Love it.
Oh, she's a good face. It's a nice
Great face.
I
Yeah.
wonder, do we have like echo canceling or anything on there?
We should. Why are they saying we have a?
Just because maybe that's what's canceling out some audio.
I can't turn it off once it's going. so-
Right.
Too late.
Or
Oh,
why are
well.
these messing up?
We're having a good conversation.
There's a red card that was making lots of lines.
I'm leaning on my keys.
It's Susie.
Susie.
Oh, Suze.
Just little Susie hanging out.
Susie.
No, she's cool. She's our friend.
If you're here, pinch John.
I'll take it. I accept.
What if he was like, ow?
He's gonna do it to mess with me now. He's gonna. We'll be talking about something. He'll be like, "Ow!"
Yeah, totally.
I forgot.
So I had another question
Mhm.
about the things that you guys do in the back.
Yes.
So
The phrasing of that was great. I loved it.
I'm good. I'm always that way. It's terrible.
Words are hard.
Words are,
No.
yes, but no.
Well,
How?
on Sundays we sacrifice.
Yes.
So I've heard that you guys do a lot of cool events in the
Yes.
back. Like I don't know if like movie nights,
Mm-hmm.
right? You'll do is the book club back there as well? Or
Yes.
the
We
book
have,
club.
Yep. We have a horror book club. that's monthly. We're doing The Exorcist this month. We have, I love that movie too. That's also probably like rotating in my top 5. The original, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have horror book club monthly. We have monthly horror movie nights. We have we just started, me and the owner of Horrifying Hot Sauce just started a film fest. So we
Ooh.
have that every month or 2 months. Next one's May 4th. We do burlesque shows, we do metal shows and punk shows, and we do vendor markets monthly. That's all like alternative vendors that I kind of have met and met since, you know, opening the shop and everything. And yeah, we do tons of other stuff as well. You know, people, we obviously host events, but then we also rent it out to other people to host their events. So we have a large kind of community of event producers that we work with. And yeah, it keeps us busy. Always a lot happening back there in the back room, if you will.
Yeah, you guys just had a Easter thing going on as well, right?
Yes, we do. That's probably our biggest event of the year. And that's actually this was the 4th annual. So before Crematorium, that is actually how I met my business partner that I work with now, is because they were like, listen, I want to do this crazy event and I don't know anyone else that would be down for it. And they were like, and you know, I had met them socially, but we hadn't worked together. They're like, what if we did an all-day Easter event, just super sacrilegious, super blasphemizing everything, just really kind of poking fun at religion. And you know, this is not like a disrespectful thing. It obviously ruffles some feathers sometimes. But anyone that's attended or knows what we're really about is really just about giving alternative people a space to feel safe and comfortable. And our Easter event is really just about taking back what was taken from so many community members by religious trauma, and by being forced into something they didn't believe in, or told they were wrong because of who they love, or told, you know, that they weren't allowed to like live how they wanted to express themselves. And so we really just wanted to create that space where it's like, okay, we, you know, maybe you don't celebrate Easter. Let's take back the day and do something like super fun. So we do, you know, it's kind of like a good culmination of all the different types of events that we do here, right? So we have vendors, we do workshops or classes. This year we did like the 5 senses. So we had like workshops. One was like the smell sense was like a perfume station, and then we had like the sound was a spanking station. So super fun, like a little sexy, a little blasphemous, well, a lot sexy, a lot blasphemous actually. And just an
Please
all
tell me you
day.
had a St. Andrew's cross.
What's that?
I said, please tell me you had a St. Andrew's cross.
What's a St. Andrew's cross?
That would have been the perfect thing for this year.
For the spank station?
It's the big X that you let people.
Oh.
But I mean, considering it's sacrilegious.
I was like, oh, I forgot my turn. I was gonna look it up, but yeah, we had a bunch of different stuff. I was on the perfume station, so I can't confirm or deny exactly what was over there.
And
There's
now
definitely
our
some
listeners-
Bible spanks.
Now
Real.
our listeners know me what better.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
It's called the St. Andrew's cross.
I love it. That would be great,
Next year.
right? We didn't have that, but we did have stocks. So the spank station had stocks, so people put their head and hands in the stocks.
Is that why that was back there?
Yep, that's why we haven't moved it yet because it's very heavy. That was
Yeah.
a custom built prop for, gosh, I can't even remember why I had it built in the first place. I think it was for some type of event or something. But it's so heavy, so we haven't moved it yet. But yes, that was why that was back there.
She turned the basement into the word dungeon.
Right? It's the perfect dungeon basement. So I'm really like putting storage down there is such a waste.
I'll come in and help you. We'll make it into.
What?
Bro, that has been hanging there. I'm
What
like
fell?
sweating.
What
It was
just
a
fell?
picture frame that's hanging, and that has been
Um,
hanging there for years, like at least a year, and has never fallen. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, yeah. I think so. We are. Oh wow. What? Oh wow.
My signed Sam Raimi Evil Dead poster,
This is what just fell off the wall.
and like nothing. Did the nail come out? Like
And that has, it's not like a little dinky thing. to
no,
hang
it's
off.
hanging on a wire.
Oh my
The
God.
whole-
Don't you have like a camera
Uh-huh.
That was, maybe she's like,
I don't think you can see it right there. I'll turn my phone on, I'll check. It was right underneath the RIP sign. I'm wondering if the nail came off.
But still, like that is the most.
It's been hanging there for over a year. Why? Like Susie is like, that's not my name. My name is Angela.
Every name is Angela. Okay, but now that's Night of the Demons. I
Oh, wow.
hope her name is not Angela.
So, anyways, yeah, haunted.
That was cool.
That was crazy. I'm
this
so
is
glad
what
we
I
caught
get for
that.
asking
At least on
Susie to show herself.
right.
This
Let me
is my
see.
fault. I asked her to show herself, and then, although her name's not Susie, maybe it's Angela.
I'm assuming that it's not Susie, and that's why she wanted to just let us know.
But you did mention Evil Dead. I mean, you said Evil Dead Rise, but Evil Dead fell off the wall.
Yeah.
And Ash. Ash just fell off the wall. She's like, "Fuck you, Ash."
No,
That's not my
That's
name.
crazy.
That's
Maybe her name is Ash.
her
Maybe
name
it's
is
Ashley.
her name is Sam. Is
Yes.
Sam Raimi.
Maybe it's Sam.
she's like
I think she's trying to give us a hint. I'm
Samantha
gonna
Sam.
look. I can't actually see because it's the camera's right above where it
Facing it,
fell.
yeah.
right.
But if there's anything to see,
That was loud.
I can't wait to the reactions. All of us were like,
right. Well, because it's like way over there, and like,
that's been
if-
hanging for a year.
well, I thought
At
like
least.
I thought for sure I just
I think
ran
it's
into
so-
something because
yeah.
I'm clumsy as hell. And
I saw it. Like it just dropped. Like, yeah, I was looking this way, I think.
so yeah, I would love to do a paranormal investigation in here. You know,
It's like needed. Okay, let's see.
I mean, I don't know who's tuning in, but did y'all see that?
Did y'all hear that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess hear that. Did you see our reactions and did you hear that?
Oh, I think one of my friends said you shouldn't have called Susie a bitch.
I didn't.
That's what I think it was said. I don't know. That's what somebody said on here.
If we said it, it was a term of endearment.
It was maybe.
I would never
Like,
call
bitch.
a child a bitch.
Yeah, especially since we know it's a little girl. If
But
we
I
said
guess,
that,
but
totally.
they heard it loud and clear over there. So
Y'all should clean your ears. No, I'm just kidding. It's possible.
Okay.
I'm like she's
8:30.
like, it was a term of endearment.
Yeah, like bitch.
We were, yay feminism. We're taking the word back.
Okay.
could do that.
Maybe it's good.
Oh,
She's like, Evil Dead is rising.
Right. I just want to see.
Because I started
just wanna
talking
watch
about
it
St.
fall.
Andrew's Cross.
I don't think I'll
Dungeon.
see it, so I'm
You'll see it fall on the
assuming
floor.
it was like right here.
We'll hear it, maybe.
So we're watching a
The
quick
security
video,
footage.
security footage of the.
I don't know if my camera quite captured it because it's like the replay is kind of like
Oh,
like
right.
motion sensor kind of, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't do a full
Oh right.
replay, and it's just it's giving me like right after it happened. I'll try to mess with it more. It's a pretty cheap camera, but
I
I'll
am
try to mess with
gonna-
it more and send you guys
But you know
if
what
I
I'm
see
going to do is
anything.
I'm going to listen to the recording
Yeah.
afterwards and boost the sound to see if there's anything prior to it dropping that maybe
Yeah.
pick up.
It's
'Cause
like-
that was loud. That scared the shit out of
It's-
me.
Because it's brick wall. It's not like you can bump into something and
Yeah.
then knock it over. Like.
Listen, I'm not saying that I'm the best with like tools, but that has been fine there for over a year, and it's obviously in a high traffic area. I've bumped it many times.
Sure.
So the fact that that just fell down, just sorry, Susie. I mean Ashley, Sammy. I don't know.
Ashley Sammy. She dropped Ash off the wall. She's like,
Yeah.
I had just been talking about turning her basement into
A dungeon.
a dungeon. And
She
she's
said,
like,
"I
I'll
live
show
down
you what
there."
I think of that.
Yeah,
Boom.
and that wall is like the other side of it is the basement door.
Mm.
Look, Susie Sam Ash.
We love you. Okay.
Apologies. Yeah. We never try to go into paranormal places or haunted places and do any kind of instigating, right?
Yeah.
I never antagonized. And
Never.
Yeah.
So, apologies. In fact, all I said was, please don't pull my hair.
Oh, she's
She's
definitely
gonna
gonna
pull
pull
my
your hair.
hair. I would have been like sitting here and then wait.
But we've been wanting to do a live stream at a haunted location.
That would be so cool.
I mean, is this not like that?
Live stream.
I mean, I'm always I'm of course into it. So
Shit literally popped off the wall.
yeah.
So I'll take it. And we're gonna go in the basement. Now I'm a little nervous, to go
Right?
upstairs. Especially when you said the basement door is on the other side of that wall.
Oh yeah. It's like the basement door is right there.
So maybe I won't go first this time.
I think that's fair.
What was that?
It was my camera. It
Oh my
turned off
gosh.
because it's
Okay.
It's,
I
'cause
was
it's
like,
not
I heard that
connected.
too. I thought it was like
Yeah.
the door thing.
Like, guys, now I'm on edge.
I know. I'm like literally sweating. I like immediately started sweating when that fell.
So did I.
Also, the AC is like very, very annoying, which is why I have it turned off. So
Oh,
it is warm in
right,
here.
right,
Apologies, but it's
Okay,
like
well, it's
one of
okay.
those where it's like, meh, kink, 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 and I just didn't want to have you guys go through that this whole recording.
Turned into a heater wave. So would you ever consider, and I'm going off the rails here, but in your event space, would you ever consider like a body art session, like a horror body paint?
That would be really
event?
cool.
Because that would be amazing.
That would be awesome. We would love that. We're pretty much down for all the spooky things.
I think that'd be
Yay!
So,
Yay! I mean, you got the buckets of blood. We'll just
Yeah, exactly. I got the blood already. The red velvet cake, man. I won't forget that. That's
And you know
genius.
what's lovely about that is you make the fake blood. It smells delicious. You can maybe dip your finger in.
Yeah, probably tastes way better than like the concoction that I create.
And the
So.
color is dark, rich, and like that vibrant. So it does photograph well.
Amazing. I love that.
It's awesome.
I love it. Heck yeah. Definitely gonna use that in the future because it's kind of annoying to like make it from scratch all the time.
Yeah, it's fun just to because you can get cake mix now for like 99 cents. So you just get a bunch of those and then mix it up.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, and it washes out well because of that.
Ah.
Smart.
Yeah, it doesn't stain as. I mean,
Love it.
it can stain, but not really. Like we've used it in different scenarios, and it did. We had it on a white dress, and it came out of the
Yeah.
switch. Again, not gonna swear by that because I don't want to get a
Yeah.
call a month
Hey,
from
you
now.
said my wedding
lied!"
dress. No.
Don't do it to your wedding dress. Okay.
Although
I'd be into
people
that.
do
Halloween
get
wedding
people do get married on Halloween. My cousin got married on
Dip it.
Halloween, and
goals.
it was amazing.
Goals.
Everybody,
How cool would that be to dip the bottom?
yes.
That'd be so cool.
My cousin's wife did the Dia de los Muertos as her like wedding dress and the everything in her bridesmaids as well.
Amazing.
I thought it was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
And everybody had to wear a costume. So
My culture is not your costume. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
we're Mexican though.
I know. I'm just kidding.
What do you mean?
I was
I had
like-
someone tell me that. I had a full like Day of the Dead makeup on for an event, and they're just like, you know, that's not a costume, right? And I'm like, you know, I'm Mexican, right?
Yeah, what? People are
But also, take
outrageous.
it down a notch because that's Hispanic people. I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody. We're just going to walk it back. So, Jason.
So, anyways, Jason.
Freddie.
No.
I love what you did during Christmas. You had the black
Yeah.
Christmas tree with the holiday ornaments. I actually got some for my tree.
Yay.
I hid them in, and it took a while before people at my house realized I actually had horror
I love it.
ornaments not hidden on the tree. They weren't even hidden; they just didn't realize. They
Yeah.
were there 'cause-
They blended in with the other ones.
Yeah, I had to get the pinhead one where he showed me the configuration and the Santa hat.
So good, so good. Yeah, we had I was inspired this year, obviously perfect timing with Terrifier 3 that came out last October. So I was like, since that came out, I was like, cool, like I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I ended up hanging up all these Christmas lights up here, and I got fake body pieces and like weapons and hung it on the lights. And I had an ornament or a wreath that had a big heart in the middle, like an anatomical fake heart in the middle, and was all bloody. That was definitely one of my favorite like seasonal decor I've had. Once I took it down, I was pretty sad. I was like, guess I'll have to wait till next Christmas, or maybe I'll do something new this year. Who knows?
I mean, they do Christmas in summer, so
I mean, hey,
there's that. Like, what is it? What is it? Valentine's Day,
Mhm.
right?
yep.
Do a lot of stuff for that.
I've done the Christmas one was definitely like the most I feel like extravagant. I went out, and then I had Terrifier in his Santa costume dressed up. But I definitely do like a lot of like vampire gothic stuff for Valentine's Day. Gosh, what did I do? I always do like the themed table. Like right now, it's all satanic and unholy for Easter, and with the random eggs on it because that's how I decor. I'm like eggs,
Eggs.
and then gosh, what else have I done? I did like Women's History Month last month, so I did like all like female icons or like cannot word apparently.
That
Femme
really threw us off.
Yeah, I'm still sweating. No, like femme icons in horror and like kind of highlighted a lot of the femme vendors that I have in shop. So that was fun. I definitely enjoy. Obviously I love Halloween. That's my favorite. But I just love a theme. I love this. Why I do like events as well. I love a good theme. I love a good decor moment. Yeah. Since I don't really get to like decorate this for Halloween, it is
Right.
Halloween all year long. My house is crazy.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I bet it's amazing.
I literally have like 40 pumpkins that I put like either like
Ooh.
old school glow up ones, like and I just have like a tiny little porch, but it's just like so many. And my partner is he's a big movie guy, not as much into horror as me. Obviously, like most people aren't as much into horror as me, but he was just like kicking them and he's like, "Why are there so many?" I was like, "It just makes me happy."
Now, do you
Watch out
carve
for
them
those
all?
pumpkins.
No, they were like fake ones.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're like the vintage, like I went for like the vintage 90s. Like that's sad that 90s is vintage,
I
but
know.
the retro is maybe a better word. The retro kind of like light up plastic ones. So I have a lot of those. So I kind of focused on that kind of like 90s Halloween theme. Like I wanted to like remind me of, Halloween when I was a kid and what made me love it in the first place. So yeah.
That's awesome. Guess the other thing you could add for Easter, I just thought of, is Donnie Darko.
Yes. I have some Donnie Darko coasters up there.
Oh, nice.
But I surprisingly, for it being one of my favorites, I don't have a lot of merch of it. I haven't seen too much, but I have some coasters. I have a pin that's Donnie Darko, but I definitely need more Donnie Darko stuff in here
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But that's
You
a
have
perfect Easter.
autographed memorabilia on your back wall.
I
on your
do.
Register.
Yes.
Are there any horror icons that you haven't met yet that you'd like to meet?
Robert England. I have met Heather Langenkamp.
Yes.
Nancy. So I have a Freddy doll signed by her. That was the coolest thing. My brother surprised me. He used to live, he lives here now and works here with me. But he used to live in Boston. And when I went to visit him, he did a surprise trip to Salem. It was October. So like if y'all have never been to Salem in October, it's literally just a Halloween party all month there, it was like I was like in Disneyland. That's like my
Yay.
version of Disneyland. But she was there signing autographs, so I got to meet her, take a picture with her, and she signed that for me. And then I just like, I really want to meet Robert England. I know he was in Denver this last year or maybe earlier this year. I can't remember, but I didn't get the time to go meet him. Pretty sure it was in October, which is hard for
Yeah.
me to.
He was here for Mad Monster.
For Mad
Was it Mad Monster? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I worked the photo line for when he was there. So it was.
what?
So I was
Jealous.
I wasn't saying anything though. I was
Yeah,
just like leading
you're
people to
working,
him.
of course.
You know, it's
But you
like,
got to set
I
the.
was like, you're there.
You're an icon. We love you.
You're an icon.
Yeah, really hoping to meet him. That's probably my main one because I got to. Obviously, you saw the haunted painting or picture that fell was Sam Raimi. I definitely tripped over my words with him. I was like, "You're a legend," It was. I don't get flustered very often with like celebrities or whatever, but I was definitely like too stunned to really get my words out. And then I met John Carpenter. I got a picture with him.
See,
He's
that's mine.
That's on my
hilarious.
list.
He is hilarious. And he did like both of these were at Texas Frightmare Weekend a couple years back. So such a cool convention. Went there, had such a blast. And so obviously they all do like panels as well. And yeah, he was so hilarious. He obviously made the Halloween theme song, but the trivia that he shared was that he actually created the dun 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 dun, dun on the bongos.
Huh?
Isn't that hilarious?
What?
That's how he
crazy.
came up with that, like, I don't know, the melody, rhythm, beat. I don't know what. I don't know
Yeah.
musical terms.
I'm not really good
but
with music. This is
yeah.
one time where I wish Shane were here because he'd be like,
Yeah.
"This is the
This
term for
thing,
that."
this thing.
Yeah. Well,
Beat, rhythm, whatever.
that's the thing great about John Carpenter is that he does all the music for most of his stuff, right?
And his score work, like I've played his albums here so many times in shop. He's so talented. I feel like because I think he said his dad was a musician. So I think that just kind of like runs in his blood. And I almost feel like I can't remember. I don't want to like quote him wrong. That would be terrible. But I'm pretty sure like the music is where his passion is. And although we know him as such this like monumental horror director, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he likes I know that he just like loves creating the music for it.
You
And
can
he's
appreciate
amazing.
this.
Oh yes. Oh,
This
I
is my-
need to meet him.
Oh, right.
I love him.
We
That's awesome.
I love Freddy. So
Amazing.
every convention I go to where they have like a Freddy cosplayer, it started as a joke, but it became a thing because this one Freddy's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pose with you and I'm gonna scare you," and I'm like, "I'm not scared of Freddy. I love
Yeah.
Freddy."
You're like, I
So
love
there's
you.
like a photo of him like choking me, and I'm just like,
You're
I'm
like,
so happy,
"Yay!"
and I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna work. I'm not scared of you. I'm like, can I just kiss your cheek?
I
And
love
the
it.
cosplayer guy, he's like, yeah, all right, fine. So he put his hat on my head,
I
and I
love
kissed
it.
his cheek. Well, then I started doing that at other conventions, and then at some
love it.
points we were getting some stuff signed in a different area with Robert, and my boss is like, "Hey, show him the pictures." I'm like, "We're working. I'm not going to show him." He's like, "No, show him, show him." So I show him, and then he's just like, "We should do that." I'm like,
I
"We
love
should
it.
what?"
You're like, what?
And
I'm
he's
coming.
like, "We should do that." And I'm like,
Like, what a flex.
I,
You got to kiss Robert England.
well, I'm like, I
what
don't
a
have,
flex.
a hat. I don't have. He's like, "We have a bunch right here," and I'm like, "Oh boy." So he puts the hat on me. I was gonna faint because I gave him the
I
first
would've.
kiss. He's like, "Let me see the picture." So we show him, and he's like, "No, the lighting's not good. We got to do it."
I
again."
love
Ah.
that. Oh,
Eight kisses later.
he just wanted you to kiss him.
I was
honestly.
just because we're
I
moving
think it was about
around
the
this
kisses.
entire room. I'm like, okay, this is getting weird.
He's like,
Eight-
darn, hard day at work.
Right.
Had to have a pretty girl kiss me 8 times.
8 kisses later, and he's like, any more of these, and we'll have to get a room. Ha ha ha! And I'm like, you cheeky dog.
You're like
you.
Robert England.
I like
oh, Freddie.
you.
Oh, I need to meet him. That's definitely my top.
He is a flirty guy for sure, huh?
That's hilarious.
I mean, and he was harmless. He
Yeah,
wasn't being weird.
super
He was just being
cool.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a nice one.
I mean, you can definitely tell that he has a great sense of humor with obviously his character in the
yeah.
movies, you know, like Freddy is a disgusting pedophile, but he's also like hilarious in those movies.
I refuse to accept that he's.
I know.
I refuse.
Well, and obviously whenever I tell people that he's my favorite, they're like, "Oh yeah? You like your favorite is a pedophile?" I'm like, "Stop it. It's not about that." Like, yes, that's obviously not cool.
Well, I think it wasn't in the first rendition or in the first script. He wasn't. It was just he was just a murderer, or he was not just, but like a child murderer.
Just a murderer, just
but
light murder.
Just light
I
murder.
think it was the reverse.
Was it the
So
reverse?
I think originally Wes did write him to be a little bit more clearly
Yeah.
like a pedophile, and then they're like, "That's not gonna fly."
Yeah.
So he pulled it out. So that's why
Yeah.
in the first one, like, he's really
He-
not.
They don't
No.
they don't really talk about it that he's a predator in that way.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's you can infer
Yeah.
that to a older man killing a bunch of children probably has a bad agenda.
And why the parents went after him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they Wes pulled it out because it wasn't. They told him it wasn't going to go over well, and then that's why they brought it back in for the reboot because they're like, we're going to go with the original concept because
Nice.
now we can.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Mm,
not my friend.
boo.
No.
I had a question for you from the audience. from
Oh,
somebody.
cool.
Do you have? Are you going to go to Texas Frightmare this year?
No, I forgot it literally is in May.
Yeah.
Not this year. I'm just a little too busy, but I definitely would love to go back very, very soon. As soon as I can.
Yeah, I hear that one's really fun. Like the costumes, I've seen some pictures of costumes there. People go all out.
It's I've been to some really awesome horror festivals, obviously mostly here since I live here. Like I love Colorado Festival of Horror. I've been vending there and obviously attending every year. And there's been some other ones that have come through and super amazing, but the Texas one is just huge. Like it is, I mean, I'm sure it's been around for way longer and has apparently it used to be really like small and it used to be like in a hotel and then now it's in a convention center is what I heard. But yeah, it's insane. People go all out. The vendors are incredible. I like took so many business cards and met so many vendors there. I loved all the panels. They obviously have like, since they're so big, they have bigger guests, and it was such a fun weekend. It was so cool.
That's awesome.
I was nerding out the whole time. It was so great.
I would say out of the horror cons, Texas Frightmares definitely has become one of the
Yeah,
top mecca of horror cons that people go to.
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. Definitely want to go again, but not this year.
I know. Get too busy. I mean, it's like here before you know it, right? It's already next month. I think it's like is at the beginning of the month. I don't know if it's at the
I
beginning.
can't
or the end of
remember
the
the.
month,
I
but
don't remember the dates. I want to say it's
Yeah.
at the beginning. I at least like that it's in May, and hopefully I can go next year because so many things are obviously in September and October, which is our
Mhm.
peak season. And that's kind of the bummer. Not that we don't obviously host a lot of really cool, fun October horror things here, but like I work so much and I'm so busy those months that I don't even get to like do all of the like I can't remember the last time I went to a haunted house or, like was able to go pumpkin patch picking, whatever.
You work at a haunted house.
I know. Literally. I don't need to go
Fell
anywhere.
off the wall.
No, but it's October is nutty around here. It's a fun time for sure.
It is nice that they do theirs outside of the
Yeah,
typical horror months.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Did have one question about horror movies. So if you could spend a weekend in the world of any horror movie without getting axed, what would it be? Like the world, right? Like I
Yeah.
was when I'm thinking about it, it's
Like,
like
where
what
do I wanna
world
chill?
did
Where do
they
I wanna hang
create?
out?
Yeah, that was just like fun.
Killer clowns from outer space.
I
I
Did
feel
you
like
see my shirt?
oh, I didn't even realize.
This is all the artwork from it.
That is so cool. Like the actual like concept
Right,
art.
right.
Incredible. But I just feel like that I want to like shoot that gun. I want to like hang out in that world. It's just so like fun and crazy. My first thought, I thought of Killer Clowns later, but when you were asking, the first thought I had was Midsummer because I
Oh,
was like, that would be kind of cool, like that crazy cult drink their weird mushroom acid tea. I don't know, that'd be fun too.
What about you, BJ? Where would you go?
Yeah,
God.
it's a good question.
Yeah.
So Lost Boys,
Without being
obviously,
axed.
because I mean, just that whole area is just there's so many interesting people. You got the underground layer. You got the carnival. Like you're out.
That'd be cool.
There's I don't know. There's so much I think you can do out there. And obviously, yeah, if you run into the vampires, I mean, if you're not going to get eaten,
Yeah.
you're not going to get
If you're not at risk of being killed, that really opens up the possibility to so many.
Yeah, I mean, if it's you're not gonna get axed, and maybe you're even one of them, I think I would go for like From Dusk Till Dawn.
Ooh,
That could be fun.
that like that bar just hang out.
Well, no, but like if you go into the origins, it used to be like the Aztec
Oh.
temples. So it could be From
Mm.
Dusk Till Dawn 3, where it's the pre-story. And I don't want to say the name of the bar because I don't know how much Facebook monitors. They're like bleep, but the
Right.
Twister used to be an Aztec temple, and like if you watched the third one, they do kind of build on that a little bit more. So I think that world would be interesting.
That would be cool.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm gonna go weird, kind of. I'm gonna go with zombies,
Oh,
and I'm gonna go with
Anna and the Apocalypse.
Anna and the Apocalypse. Yeah.
Like, you wanna-
Apocalypse.
Like you want to chill with the zombies, like
I'll
hang
chill with the
out, do a
zombies,
little
you
like
know, I'll be there. I just won't die. I get to sing, whatever.
Hmm.
I get to sing. I
Love
can't
it.
sing now, so why
love it.
Choreographed
not? Weird dances. Yeah.
dances and killing all at the
I was
same
literally
time.
picturing like the Michael
Like
Jackson,
the
the
Thriller
thriller
dance.
dance for some reason.
You might teach him that.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of neat horror worlds. If I wasn't,
I know.
I mean, if I'm
I
not
love
gonna
these
be axed,
questions.
I'd go into Hellraiser. Like if I know for a fact I'm not going to be ripped apart.
Yeah.
I mean, send me to Hellraiser.
Like I said, like just outfit inspo. Like I just want to hang out with them because they're so cool. You know what trivia I learned recently that is so strange to me about Hellraiser is that, and I don't know why I didn't know this, but the name of the female Cenobite is just the female.
Mm.
And
They
first of
couldn't
all,
give her a name. It's just the
the
female.
female. Everyone else has a cool name. Butterball, you know, Pinhead. They all have to deal with their, you know, their malformities or whatever. It's just the female. And also makes no sense because Cenobites are genderless.
Mm.
So
Isn't the new one supposed? I mean, it's genderless, but it's female. And isn't she the priest? Isn't that her character name?
The
for new
name?
one?
I just watched it too. I should know this.
It's the priest.
I thought she was supposed to be Pinhead or they. I don't know what,
She's the new Pinhead, but she's
but their name's something.
because they
Her
all
name's something
started
different.
as a human. So I think her original human counterpart was a female, and then she takes on the new Pinhead role. I
Okay.
believe.
I was like, I just watched it too, but I don't remember. My memory is terrible. I'm
The female.
just like,
They're
really?
like, this is our token female.
Yeah, literally, literally, the female.
Female.
Like, really? Come on now.
That's what we need to make for the crematorium. The Pillar of Souls. What is that? Hellraiser 2? Hellraiser 3?
That would be awesome.
It's been a while since I've seen the third one. I've seen the first
The
two
one that
recently.
sucks in the people, feeds them, and
I was like, I
turns
have a
them into
little.
pillar.
Did you see the Cenobites on top, up there on the shelf on this wall, right behind Freddy, basically.
Go
But-
look at Freddy.
There's a little pillar.
Oh, is there?
Mhm.
Sometimes
You have
I
to
look.
check it out.
Here,
Yeah.
take this.
See him up there? Up on the shelf behind the counter.
Oh, it's mine. Oh my
Yeah, on
gosh.
the top.
And that's
I've-
the thing I think I love about your shop is that like every time I come in here, it's like something new, something different.
Totally.
And also it's just like you could do one loop and then miss like so many different things.
It's
right?
such a, you know, it's literally only 600 square feet. It's a tiny shop, but that's how I keep myself sane and keep it exciting and keep people coming back is I just pack it so full of things. There's so much to see. But I also just rotate a lot of stuff. So I'm always getting new stuff, not just, you know, like the product, but yeah, I have like regulars and friends that donate to my collection back there, or I actually got all of these like cardboard signs from Spirit Halloween last
Okay.
year. I went the day they were closing and I was like, hey, are you gonna sell your displays? And they're like 50 cents. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one. So I got the horror sign and then yeah, the Ghostface, the Jason, and the Beetlejuice.
Oh, heck yeah.
We need to start going to Spirit.
Oh yeah, I tell everyone. They're like, "Where'd you get this?" I'm like, "Go to your local Spirit on the day that they close. Everything's discounted, you know, obviously I buy a bunch of stuff there. But yeah, they sell all their signage and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Pro tip. In case anyone wants a 10-foot Jason in their house.
I'm just gonna bring you to my house so you can horrify my office. It's
Perfect.
already like horror, but it needs to lean in. I want Victorian goth and horror.
Yeah.
Mm.
Something.
Ironically enough, my house is not really horror at all. Because when I opened this shop, I brought everything here. So all my collectibles are here. You know, they get a lot more attention and visibility, so it works. I have a Ghostface bathroom, and that's about it. But I'm moving this summer, so hopefully I can horrify it more. But the bathroom's fun. I have like a rug. I got like cloths that have his face on it. I have like a little jewelry dish. All the art on the wall is all like artists that have done Ghostface prints. It's fun. It's very fun.
I do have one piece of trivia for you.
Oh no, I'm gonna fail.
It is about killer clowns from outer space.
Okay, I'm bad
Did
at
you
this.
know? Can you tell me what the trolls came from, or what they were repurposed for, or originally they were something else, and then they used them in killer clowns? But don't say anything if you know. Do you know, John?
Like another movie?
Yes.
Why do I feel like I know this?
Is it Critters?
Nope.
Is it a horror movie?
It's a comedy. It's like a holiday comedy, but it's for Halloween.
Gremlin?
I was gonna say Gremlins,
What is
but they're too like.
So
Let me-
it's are you ready?
Yeah.
So it's the Ernest.
Oh,
Ernest Scared Stupid.
I
So
feel like somewhere I heard that in like the back of my. I feel it like right here,
right.
but I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, because I went back and watched it because I was just like, I haven't seen Ernest Scared Stupid in forever. And then I saw a meme about it that said that. It was like, oh my god, like
That's
those are the trolls. They are
hilarious.
the clowns from from that movie. It's
Oh
great.
my gosh, that's amazing. Now I got to rewatch like both of them side by side.
Yes.
now
That's
dreaming
hilarious.
big. So we're gonna dream big. I
Mhm.
know you said delusional earlier, but no, dreaming big.
Yes, always
Manifesting.
manifesting.
Where would you want to see the shop go next?
That's a good question. Obviously it's this building. We're still working on our liquor license, and we love the way that this started and how it's this community space with all these different businesses, and so this is kind of will always be obviously the first rendition, the hub, the central home base. But I mean, we've talked about opening up other locations. Obviously 5, 10 year goals. um it would be fun to do like another one locally, just because obviously it'd be easiest, cheapest, all that, um to kind of open, whether that's Fort Collins, the Springs, even just the other side of town. I mean, since it is a coffee shop, it's nice because I feel like, obviously is like a niche concept shop. It's not like I need a Horrid next door. But since we do have the coffee shop concept as well, I think that gives us a little bit more leeway to do something like that. But I always have a lot of people that travel here from all over. We get like a lot of New Mexico. I love Portland. I would love to like go open a shop in Portland.
Okay.
I just feel like the crowd would also be, very similar. They have a really great like alternative horror punk scene there. So that would be really cool. Definitely just spreading the good word of horror around to other locations. Berlin, out of the
Ooh,
country.
yes.
That would be cool.
What about like a almost like a coffee shop, like or coffee van,
That would be cool.
hearse?
A hearse. I have wanted a
Yeah.
hearse to like park out front, to use for photo shoots, to like advertise, to drive. I've wanted a hearse for so bad. Like I've asked people if they're selling. Like haven't seriously looked into it, but like I've definitely been wanting one forever. So like a little pop-up hearse would be so cool.
Same.
So cool. I need one. Someone give me a hearse. Donate a hearse.
Tell me where I can find a
Yeah.
hearse. Do we have any final thoughts or subjects before we start wrapping it up?
What's all your guys' favorite horror movies? Can I ask that?
The
Sure.
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys? Oh yeah, you
Lost
did say
Boys,
that.
Fright Night, and Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Amazing.
All vampires.
You're like, I know what I like.
I do.
Oddly enough, mine are very similar to yours.
Heck yeah.
Like Nightmare on Elm Street, like 1 and 3.
I was gonna say which one? Dream Warriors.
Dream
is
Dream
Warriors.
the
Warriors.
best.
Dream
I actually
Warriors
I have to
and
show
Those
you.
kills.
I'll have to show you my costume later
Okay.
from that movie. It's great. And then and Cabin in the Woods. Like I loved
So
it.
good.
Like I told
Crowd
Ashley,
pleaser too. Like everyone, you
yes.
can't not like that movie if you like horror. You know.
If you have a movie to watch outside with friends and stuff, that's
Mhm.
like the perfect movie
Yep.
to have for that kind of situation.
Exactly. Agreed.
Yeah.
Mine is the Scream franchise.
Amazing.
Space.
Hell yeah.
Probably Halloween as well.
Cool. Classics. Love them.
Yeah, throw in the Leprechaun. Why not? This is so dumb.
Hey, I was born on St. Patrick's Day, so that's
There
like
you go.
my
There you
my
go.
my birthday horror movie.
Thank you.
Oh, how
That's
funny!
cool.
I haven't met a lot of people that are, so yeah, that's my go-to horror birthday.
Now, who are
movie.
your favorite horror icons? Because I know my top 3 are vampires, but actually my favorite horror icons would be Pinhead,
Mhm.
Freddy, and Hannibal.
That's a good one. Definitely, obviously Freddy. I love Captain Spaulding. I love
Mm.
everything Rob Zombie does.
Tutti
Truly,
Frutti.
Tutti fucking Fruity. I have a perfume called Tutti fucking Fruity.
Mm.
So we'll definitely love Captain Spaulding. Probably those two would be my top. And Pinhead. I do love Pinhead too.
Something sexy about Pinhead.
It's that like Dom vibes with their
They
outfits, you
did.
know, like
Ghostface, of course.
yes.
I had another one. I just totally lost it. Actually, I like Art the Clown. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was looking at him and I almost said him, and then it reminded me of Captain Spaulding, and I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I think I'm gonna say Captain Spaulding instead. But Terrifier, Art the Clown's great.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd probably say Ash for me
Yeah.
is up there for
Do
sure.
you see my new rug? It says groovy.
Oh,
Has a chainsaw on it. Just got that
yes.
today. I was really excited.
Love it.
Yeah, that's just a great one too.
Well, I mean, obviously Freddy, but Ash too. Just because he's so like just all those movies.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Love it. Heck yeah. Those are all great answers.
Just
We all
trying
have
to
such good taste.
Yeah.
Frank from Donnie Darko. That's another one. He's awesome.
Just trying to think if there was anyone I was missing. And I'm just looking around your shop.
know, like,
because
at
I've
least we
got,
can get,
all
like,
the inspiration around
ideas,
here,
right?
too.
I mean, Elvira.
She's a baddie.
We just talked about her. She was amazing, right? Just
I can't say her. That would be biased. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of iconic ones that I like to collect their, images. So for example, Sam from Trick or Treat, that's
Mhm.
fun. Would I list him as like a top icon? Maybe not, but still a fun icon.
hmm
You're never gonna get me to say Chucky. I'm sorry.
You know, we were literally talking about this last night because, or maybe it was a couple days ago. Chucky and Tiffany, more Tiffany, but also Chucky is Nick's favorite in the coffee shop. So it's funny because when you walk over there, and maybe I mean you guys have been here before, there's so much Chucky and Tiffany stuff. Not even just because she loves him and them so much, but once people know what your favorite thing is, they get you so much of that. To the point where she's started to tell us, like, you guys, I love Chucky and Tiffany, but this is a horror coffee shop, not a Chucky and Tiffany shop. Like, we might need to chill out on those gifts. So that's a little funny tidbit. You'll notice there's lots of Chucky and Tiffany over there.
Well, I noticed the drinks are inspired too, like the
Yep.
Valentine's Day. There's the
Tiffany Valentine. Yep. Yeah, it's really fun trying to every season when she's coming up with new drinks, trying to throw names out there and
yeah.
just-
And when you guys get your liquor license going, right?
Mhm.
You're gonna have all kinds of fun with that.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Like the cocktails we're gonna make, we're definitely gonna do like a Creepatorium has all like the green slime, so I want like a green slimy drink. I want to obviously do some like horror drinks, some like black charcoal, if you will, or something. I don't think they want you to ingest charcoal anymore, but
not typically.
yeah, that was like a fad that people did, and then they're like, actually, how about like maybe don't do that anymore?
Good,
But some type of like black drink, sludge drink would be cool. They're gonna look disgusting and taste great.
I
That's the
hope
goal.
so. Because I'm envisioning this and I'm like,
You're like, what?
John, don't drink.
Yeah.
Every
You
time
dear,
I just
our
offer
tester.
you up.
Yeah.
I feel like there was something and it just flew out of my mind. Yeah, I don't know. It's gone.
I thought you were gonna go like pinch her or something.
No.
I thought you were gonna prank her.
No, Susie's gonna pinch him. Susie
Yeah.
Sam Ash.
We love you.
I love you so much. I'm so sorry. if I
We're
upset
sorry.
you.
Yeah.
Please don't throw
Hopefully
any
no
more of her
more
memorabilia
things.
off the wall.
Yeah. You said it didn't break.
Or please just don't throw anything.
Yeah.
Let's
Period.
preface that.
That was crazy. I can't believe that happened.
Do you have anything you'd like to promote before we wrap this awesome episode up?
Yeah. Obviously Horrid, you can find us online, horridmagazine.com. The other businesses in the building are Scream and Sugar Coffee Shop, as well as Creepatorium. Of course, all have social media as well, Instagram, TikTok, all the fun things. And yeah, I guess one of the next kind of events I'm looking forward to is the next Horridfying Film Fest, which I said was the film fest that I do in collaboration with Ryan of Horrifying Hot Sauce. So we do a feature and a block of shorts. The first month we did all local, but we're branching out this month, which is May 4th. We are doing the Lost Leatherface film. So Gimme Skelter. So I'm very excited about that event. It's very fun. And again, just get to nerd out with the horror
Yeah.
community and watch some some indie horror. So that is going to be May 4th. I'm excited for that. Get your tickets.
What's the Lost Leatherface?
I'm gonna like butcher this if I try to say it, but it's God, I told you I'm terrible with names. Oh
Is
my
it Brett
god.
Wagner? Is it a film about him? Or?
It's Gunnar. I'm embarrassing myself right now. Gunnar Hansen? Is that this?
Yeah,
I
wasn't
keep my phone's
there a tie in there with like Kofo? Like I think I heard about it there. Like I don't know if there was an actor from that movie there.
Well, that would have been Brett. But Gunnar Henderson? Is that what you were saying? Gunnar Hansen.
Gunnar Hansen. Okay, it was Hansen. I was like, why does that sound right? So it's he's in it.
Interesting. Well, fun.
I have not seen it yet, so that's why I'm excited to see it. Hence why I'm very poorly talking about it.
No, you're
But
doing
I'm
a
very
great job. We're
excited.
the ones that derailed. So.
I was like, I don't remember names well. But
Well,
yeah.
I hope to see you come out of photography retirement because your images are beautiful and amazing.
Thank you so much.
And I'm excited to see what other events come out of this and how big where it's going to grow because I know it's going to grow.
Oh my
next
gosh,
year.
thank you. Thank you.
I mean, I will say this if this is any indication of how much this has grown. I had a friend from a completely different state send me a viral TikTok for it and say,
I
hey,
love
you know,
that.
this is in Colorado.
You're like, you need to go see this.
You should go see this.
Oh,
So,
I love that. I actually, so for spring break this year, I say spring break, or obviously like adults, we don't really have spring break anymore. My partner is a teacher, so he gets spring break off. So for his spring break, we went to Florida, and he was wearing his Horrid shirt, and someone recognized it and came up to us, and I was like, that is like so cool. I'm like all like shy and like, oh my god, who little old me, little old Horrid. So it's really cool to get that kind of recognition, and people like what we're doing because yeah, it's like I obviously created something that I thought was needed and that I would love to go to, and and that's kind of where we all started. Obviously, we're just big horror nerds, so we just wanted to talk about horror with people and promote other horror artists and things we'd want to buy and things we'd want to wear and stuff like that. And so I'm glad that we're not alone in that.
well, you are doing something special that I think gets lost in a lot of businesses. You are creating community.
Yeah.
And
That has community over competition has been our phrase that we've said since the beginning of Horrid, beginning of Creepatorium, beginning of just everything that this brainchild has become. That's always our goal, which is why I work with so many local artists in the shop. Primarily small business, local handmade products, and with the events we work with so many local show promoters and local music, local performers. Community is just so central to what we do. It's very important.
it absolutely shows.
Thank
So,
you.
Thank you for having us in.
Thank you guys. I was like, I could talk forever.
No, we could too, but I know it's getting later and we don't want to keep you too late. But you have a shop to open tomorrow.
Yes, I have to be here tomorrow.
And then we still have to see the basement. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah.
scared of her.
Now you're like, oh, I don't know. Spoke too soon. No.
She could pull my hair. Guys, who has a hair tie? No,
Right.
all right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions, give us a shout, 3hauntedpodcast@gmail.com. Sorry, I'm taking your outro, but we're winging it here. And also, if you are local or if you're not local, come to Horrid.
Come visit.
Horrid in Denver. It really is the best horror shop.
Yes,
Thank
you can
you.
find all kinds of crazy things here, like anything you need, or even things you don't need.
Some wants.
Some wants.
Some
Come
wants.
get those wants.
Thank
This
you
is a
for
need.
tuning in, everybody.
Yay.
Beware.